Poppies in 5 minutes. Poppies can be slightly more complex in ways because it's slightly ambiguous in places. However, its organisation is very, very important. The first stanza we have here seems to link to the final stanza that we have down the bottom here. The idea that essentially what we've got, as we've seen before, is basically a framing device. The time when she is going just before Armistice Sunday to the graves to remember her son, who is probably dead, or at least not at home. We get the image of poppies themselves. Of course, we have the significance of poppies in Remembrance Day, very important there, but also, again, the colour red at the same time, going with the idea of blood and death and whatever. And that point is made here when she pins one to him, and it's described as a spasm of paper red that disrupts a blockade of yellow bias binding around your blazer. We have all the B alliteration here as well. Again, the poppy is essentially potentially foreshadowing what was likely to come, because this is already before you left, although it's looking back on it in certain ways. It is hard and heavy in a sound. It's something that should be calm being represented as something far more dangerous. She goes back to the specific memory then as she got rid of him. Again, basically what we're seeing is that she is mothering him. And this, I think, comes to a key aspect of this, that what she really has lost in many ways is that she has lost the child that she once had, rather than just the adult that he has become. These ideas of needing to steal the softening of her face, again using the S sound to represent the, in this case I think, the harshness of trying to cover up what's going on. We get reference to these childish things, playing at Eskimos like we did when you were little, running her fingers through the gel blackthorns of his hair. I suppose the gel blackthorns seem to be suggesting to us the idea of something slightly prickly, maybe a change from him as a child, and the acceptance here. We move over into the next stanza. I was brave as I walked with you. Again, very important that we notice this is all from her perspective, because in a minute when she then says that when she throws open the front door, the world is overflowing like a treasure chest and he is intoxicated, this is not only a clear distinction between him and her in their attitudes, and between therefore youth and age, or a child and adult. It is also her view, not what he necessarily saw. When he leaves, she goes up, releases a songbird from its cage. Whether you see that as something that she is doing, I don't think it's not going to be a literal songbird or whatever. It does seem to remind us that songbirds are things that are there. If they are caged, they are caged for the pleasure of the imprisoner, the person who imprisons them. Therefore, it's almost like a realization that she has to let go. When the single dove flies from the pear tree, that appears to be the moment at which he dies, and it appears to be some representation apparently of his soul going through. The pear tree has got a lot of connotations in various cultures of sorrow, death, or immortality. But it leads her here back to the church, where she skirts around, doesn't go in a clear, obvious way, and back to the war memorial, where she leans against the war memorial like a wishbone. The shape is there, but again, the kind of almost futile attempt to wish him alive again. The dove makes its return in the sky, and she listens, and all she wants to do is hear his playground voice catching on the wind. She is hoping and longing for the child that she once had, the simpleness of that.